Captain Cutler. I think this is the last episode that had an actual like title card with like the ghost. I may be wrong, but anyways, Captain Cutler. So Scooby bumped into the ghost while he was out at sea. I guess they were at the beach. The team was at the beach, and I added 3 points for that. The creativity. I like how it's not all the time that they're driving and somebody tells them and they're like, "Oh, let's go." No, it's sometimes they just bump into it. Powers underwater. Yeah, he's wearing a scuba dive, but if he was a ghost, I mean, just imagine like breathing underwater. So I added +2 there. Makes boats vanish +2. Kind of like Bermuda. Like imagine you're on a boat and then poof, you're gone. People don't know what happened to you. And then ghost powered boats. It runs ghost boats. I gave it +2. Now I gave this +2 because the story is heard from Ebenezer Shark, the person who ends up not being the person behind the mask. And so I like that. I like when the story comes from somebody who's not the villain, because unfortunately that's the majority of the people. So 2 points for that. And 3 points to the episode because it tried to throw us off. They had the scuba diving in Ebenezer Shark's closet, or I don't even know what it. And they're like, and even once they unmask, Fred, it's like, now let's see if this person's really Ebenezer Shark. So yeah, and we'll get to that point in a bit. The clues were glowing seaweed, the scuba tank, and the underground cavern. So 3 points, 1 for each. Trapped, not caught, but trapped Fred, Daphne, and Velma in that room. +3, 1 for each person that he captured. Or trapped, sorry. Shaggy trying to light a cannon underwater made me laugh. +2. But I had to take away those 2 points because afterwards, Shaggy and Scooby are just swimming and then just, with some sort of force, just break the door open for Fred, Daphne, and Velma somehow. So I was like, I guess, -2 points. I took off another point because while Shaggy is sitting on a stump and I got a close-up, Shaggy's hair magically changes to yellow instead of brown, orange, red, whatever the color is. So -1 point. I took 3 points away because the trap didn't work. I took 4 points away because they were wrong. They all thought it was Ebenezer Shark, and they're even like, who is he? And so I took another point for that because they didn't know who it was. They're like, who's this person? And until Shaggy puts the thing on the guy. I added 2 because it's the first time 2 people are actually arrested, even though they show it, the wife and the thing and the guy, which I gave 2 points because the creepy wife, I like that they started implemented characters that are just like, they even put that song like whenever the wife was like, "Good evening," that song, so there's that. Scooby. The 3 bits of that he got inflated, poked a hole in the thing by Shaggy, and then he like crashed into Captain Cutler's ghost. The bit where he's like, "No, I can't squeeze into there. I'm too fat." And then the one where he's gonna knock on the thing, he's like, I found those funny because I think that like in prior episodes there wasn't really much showing of like this type of Scooby, and it wasn't until this one where he started like acting like that. So 3 points, 1 for each in that. And Scooby being an all-powerful being, you cannot negate that there's something spooky going on with Scooby. Now the question is he more powerful than Shaggy? I mean, I don't know. Scooby just ate the Scooby just ate the shakes. All 5 of them, I think, by just drinking through his own. And it's like, how did he do that? But then I guess Shaggy has his own powers. And it's always at 1%, so I don't know. And then the explanation for the episode, 5. Why did I give it 5? Oh, I gave it a 5 because they read on the news. They didn't explain, they just like, hey, they caught them, the person, they were doing this, and that's it. But they don't, the explanation is not like concrete. So that's why I didn't give points there. But yeah, I gave it 5. And then the episode itself, I gave it 8. It looks like I gave it 8. Again, this is one of my favorite episodes. It's actually the very first Ghost that I actually truly liked, and I was ecstatic when I saw it in Scooby-Doo 2: Monsters Unleashed. Really like that. Okay, so all of those points together, unless I missed something, hopefully I didn't. I had to jump a little bit around because I forgot to put some stuff down. But a total of 31 points to the Ghost of Captain Cutler. Minor 49er. So they found the place because Shaggy was reading the map wrong. So they went into the ghost town. +4 because I can relate to that. -2 because Velma had Daphne's lips when the guy Hank was like, it's the minor 49er. So Velma has Daphne's lips, so -2 for that. I took 2 more points off because the story of the minor 49er ends up being told by the person that ends up being in the mask, so -2 there. And I took another 2 points off because the dude essentially reveals his plan. He's like, the minor 49er's not gonna leave until he finds all the gold, until we realize it's black gold. But I don't know. That's it. So I initially gave a point because like the mine moans for the miner is like essentially like a power-ish, I guess. But then I was like, nah, -4 because he has no powers. So yeah. The minor 49ers is just scaring around, and I like that. So it's +3. +3. I like the bit where the first time we have an interactive ghost where he serves the Shaggy and Scooby Scooby and Shaggy the cobweb cups, where he like literally pushes them out. So we do that. So where'd it go? 2. The clues, we have the new map inside the Indian like statue or whatever that was. The wire to speaker and recorder. So the wire that led to the speaker, that's 2 points. The lanterns that are lit in the mine. The oil that they find. And the stilts is 2 points. The oil is 1 point. And then this is the episode where the Fred meme comes. You know, the one where he's like, that? And so when I saw that, I had to pause it and I laughed. I told my brother and he's like, yeah, that's where the meme is from. I was like, yeah. So I gave 2 points for that. Fred meme, live on. Now the trap technically worked, so I gave it 3 points because it technically worked. There were some like small complications at the end, but it still technically worked. They still caught him, and then Scooby crashed into the thing, and boom, he's knocked out. They also technically figured out who it was before unmasking, or rather Fred, because they saw the stilts on the miners thing. So they figured out it was Hank before he did the unmasking, or while he was doing the unmasking. So +3 for that. The explanation, I gave this a 10. I gave the explanation a 10 only because this is probably the most thorough explanation of any of the other episodes. There's some things that are like, yeah, he did this, and we couldn't figure out this. But this one's like, no, bam, 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 and boom, boom, boom. You know, like this person going straight to jail. Like they had everything down. Explanation, and then the episodes, I like this episode, minor 49er, +8 for the episode overall, and so minor 49er gets a total of 31 points. All right, let's talk about Geronimo. He's one of my lesser favorite ghosts. Funny story, I used to call okay, so apparently there's two ghosts in this episode. There's the ghost of Geronimo, the one that's, and then the Indian witch doctor, which is the actual like lead ghost. I didn't know that. I used to just say Geronimo is the one that appears and is like, leave this place, and then the other ghost was just like his spirit. So it was essentially like the same ghost, but nah, it's apparently two different ghosts. So we have Geronimo and then the Indian witch doctor. So how do we start out this episode? I took away a point because they did my boy dirty. Scooby's just trying to flirt with his dog. The dog like basically was like nah, and break my boy's heart. -1. Okay, all right. But on the real, after that, the female dog is kidnapped in front of Scooby. So 3 points for how they find out about the mystery. And I added 1 point back because of, or I don't even know if it's 1 or 3 or 2 anymore. But I gave some points back, and I'll figure out afterwards. What's this? Oh. It was probably 1. For having Scooby, essentially it's like, okay, you turned me down, but oh snap, you're getting kidnapped here, let me help you. Unfortunately, he didn't be able until later, but yeah, All right, 2 points for my boy's new collar, all right, and then his bath. I think this is the only time that we actually see Scooby get a bath instead of him showering himself. So like an actual like treat your dog sort of thing. So I like that that visual, so +2 for that. The back of the mystery machine tech. So we've actually get some good tech of like, it's always usually empty. And for some reason there's always just something that just happens to be in the back of the mystery machine that just conveniently helps trap the ghost. Fred's always like, oh, we can use this, it's in the back of the mystery machine. That's just me, but anyways, 1 point for that because we actually get like seats and all that stuff. The Shaggy and Scooby snack moments. The first time that Shaggy apparently tries a Scooby snack and he's like, not bad at all. So there's that. And then, Scooby breaking hearts and the female reaction. So I did 1 point for that. Because I like that, like, sort of change where we have Scooby first being denied and now he's the one denying, although he reacted like a mature person, and the female dog really didn't try to dirty the person like dang, come on. This is why Scooby's single. It's probably why I'm single too. But anyways, we have Scooby gets caught. The first person to actually get like caught by a ghost or a villain or ghoul or monster, whatever you want to say. So Scooby gets caught, 3 points. But then I took 2 points away because it turns out that they were actually going after a dog and the help. I mean, you get what you pay for, So they got the wrong dog and -2 points. But I added those 2 points afterwards after I realized these 2 people are 2 different ghosts. So 2 points for that. Then 2 points for having a ghost shoot arrows and throw tomahawks. It ends up showing up that obviously they're fake, which is part of the clues. The factory made arrow, and then afterwards we have the English-speaking 1,000-year-old Indian that Velma points out. Afterwards, another 3 points for this ghost, and it captures Daphne. But then we have to go down to -3 because there was no trap set in place. And then they take out 4 points because they didn't figure out who it was until the unmasking. I gave 4 points though because they were captured by Scooby and the dogs, and it wasn't something like an accident. They actually actively went after the dog, after the villain, and had him on the pole. Scooby does need a masking, +2. They don't explain if they captured the helper unless I missed it or didn't hear it. So I gave -3 points on that. I don't know if the helper just moved. The explanation of the episode is I gave it 4 since they wasn't really explained by the team. It was explained by somebody else. It's like, yeah, he stole his own dog and hopefully he can. So the gang didn't even know why he was doing it again. So that's why I just gave +4. And then in the episode overall 5. It's not one of my favorites, but it is what it is. I still, enjoyed it. Oh, and I also took off points because the story was heard eventually by the person behind the mask. I forgot his name, but yeah. So I took off points for that, which brings the total for Geronimo, or the ghost of Geronimo, and the Indian witch doctor, a total of 18 points.